All right, we have another quick presentation. As I mentioned, we have all kinds of programs and resources at learnaboutag.org. They're just waiting to be used. And I wanted to mention the one program that the grant opportunity that has a deadline of October 1. So you have about a week, but it's a very simple application. There was a flyer in your registration bag, or you can go to learnaboutag.org and look up the Literacy for Life grant. And that is a grant for $500 that you can use to either start a new program or embellish a program that you already have going, whether it's buying books, whether it's garden education, nutrition education. We really look for a wide variety of subjects. The Oregia Family Foundation funds this so that we're able to give out 25 grants. And from those 25 grant application winners, we select our Outstanding Educator of the Year. And this year, Sue Squires was selected as our Educator of the Year, and she went on into the, hi, Sue. She went on into the national competition. So each state submits a Teacher of the Year, and she was one of the 5 national Ag in the Classroom Teachers of the Year. So yay for Sue. Yay. And so Sue, we're going to see a little video about you before you talk. Are you good with that? All right, thanks.
Susan Squires teaches 6th, 7th, and 8th grade students at San Olivos Elementary School in Santa Ynez, California. Though she considers herself a city girl, she grew up with a family involved in citrus and avocado production with horses in Orange and San Diego counties. She attended Cal Poly, San Luis Obispo, and originally pursued a career as a zookeeper. She quickly found her calling for teaching, though, and now considers herself not to be strictly an agriculture or a science teacher, but a teacher that merges both into her classroom. One tool that Squires uses to combine her lessons is the Los Olivos School Garden. Her 7th grade students research California specialty crops, both ornamental and for produce, and plant them according to the appropriate growing season. Students maintain the garden by pruning vines and controlling nitrogen in the beds. Once the plants have matured, students take turns snacking on their produce and create colorful bouquet arrangements with the flowers. After her 6th graders experimented with various colors of propagated popcorn, they discovered that some ears were multicolored while others were true. This led to a full genetics experiment with multi-generational popcorn plants. Students dedicated garden space to various generations, and local farmers provide advice to help students bring the plants to maturity. After harvesting, students compare the colors of the yield with their hypothesis made weeks earlier. After receiving a Literacy for Life grant from the California Foundation for Ag in the Classroom, Squires implemented a project in her garden entitled HELP, Help Energize Local Produce. The project teaches students about organically reducing pest populations in the garden and growing produce in a stress-free environment. Students had the idea to make the garden and school more aesthetically pleasing by planting flowers and empty wine barrels. Students use materials purchased from the grant's fund to create flower bulb designs, which will be judged by the rest of the school after they've fully bloomed. Other goals of the project including getting other grade levels involved in the garden and incorporating produce from the garden into the school salad bar. Squires draws on her past experience as a quarantine biologist to teach her students about invasive species and pests. The melon fruit and the glassy-winged sharpshooter are just a few of the pests studied by the students. The sharpshooter in particular is a part of a large study on the oak trees located within the school's boundaries. Squires teaches the students to identify different species of oak, acorn germination, and environmental controversies surrounding oaks. Students conduct monthly field visits dedicated solely to gathering data on the oaks and trapping the sharpshooters. The data is analyzed and is represented on graphs created by students to share their findings. With this unit, Squires is able to help her students understand how oaks in the natural environment are related to the agriculture community in the Santa Ynez Valley, which includes grazing beef cattle and miles of vineyards. Squires knows that science and agriculture are not mutually exclusive, and because of her commitment to teaching, her students do too. Suzanne Squires, 2020 National Excellence in Teaching About Agriculture Award recipient.
Okay, Sue, before you speak, we did this once before because one of the perks of the state grant, Learn Outstanding Educator, is $1,000, just special for you. But at the national level, Sue was to receive a grant to go to the National Ag in the Classroom Conference, which happens traditionally in June. And this year it was scheduled for Salt Lake City, and we all didn't get to go because it went virtual. So we did make this one little presentation to Sue, and we awarded her with her national plaque for Excellence in Teaching About Agriculture 2020 National Award. So now that I've presented it to you twice, Sue, we're going to ship it to you so you can have it in your hands.
Thank you.
Welcome. And as I mentioned, this all started because she applied for one of our grants. So share your thoughts, Sue, please.
Okay. First of all, I would like to thank again the Oregia family, because they always come through for us for these grants, and they're really, really important, especially when teachers are, have very small resources and want to share agriculture. I specifically think about the city teachers in my mind because I was a city kid. And if I hadn't been exposed to horses and a little bit of old family farming way back, I don't know as I would have understood where my food comes from and how important it is for students just to be out. And that I think has really come to play with COVID, because a lot of people are out gardening now that weren't gardening before. When I went out to get plants for the school garden, there weren't any because people had taken so many. So it just shows just how many things. I mean, I always am having kids break into my science class with their huge zucchinis. Look what I, found in my garden. And it's just a great place to learn about science, about writing, about math. It just goes all across the curriculum. So, you don't have to have, I have my beautiful school garden behind me that I didn't always have, that it actually, I just kind of took it over, and I've been here for 24 years. So when I got the grant, I actually wanted to grow some popcorn. And so I had 2 planters built in an area of the school where nothing was. It was just gravel. And it turned into this great, fabulous project that I call Popcorn Genetics. And my students plant in 6th grade, and then they plant the next generation in 7th grade, and then they pick the last generation in 8th grade, and then they're supposed to create like a label for it, packaging for it, so that they can sell it, so people can eat it. So it's a great project that I have used my grant for twice, because you can use your grant for a new project or idea that you have, or one that you just need to fluff up and make better. I brought some of the corn that actually, you can see the different colors. That's what we study, how these colors get passed down from one generation to the next. So what a better genetics experiment or study for kids than using agriculture to talk about some of the heredity standards in science. So you can start small, you can start big. If you have a garden, great. There's always things that the garden needs and that you need money for. If you don't, you could do things in your classroom. You could grow herbs and make dry them out and make tea. We've done that before. So it's just one of those programs that I'm really passionate about, and I'm so glad that I've been a part of this organization for a long time. They have the best conferences, and I was very sad that the Ventura conference didn't happen because I was like, yay, it's close to my house. But it's also fun to go to other places in the state and experience it. But they really do a great job, and they are very supportive and try to find money and resources for teachers when you need it. So please take advantage of it. It's a great program.
Thank you, Sue. And I did not pay her at all to say all those wonderful things. I appreciate them, though. Thanks for being with us today and helping us promote the Literacy for Life grants, and hope you're doing well down there. We'll see you next year in Ventura.
Yeah, and one thing about my garden that I thought I would point out quickly that I forgot is another thing you can do, even if you don't have like a garden or planters, is make a mural like our students did in the back that just, you know, shows agriculture. So that's just another thing you could do without getting involved in a growing situation. I just forgot about that, so I want to throw it in.
And if people had questions for you, Sue, how can you advise them?
Well, I'm happy to take emails at my, you know.
Someone wants to connect with you. Do you want them to ask us for your information and we'll send it on?
Yeah, that would be great.
Okay, so we'll be happy to connect the two of you. That's great.
Okay.
Any other questions? Mostly awesome, and congratulations from most everybody.
Thank you very much.
Good. I think you do a great job. Thanks, Sue. We'll see you soon. Yay.
Okay.
All right.
Bye.
Okay, folks, we're coming down to the end of the 33rd annual conference, and I'm pretty pleased with how we were able to negotiate the technology. Thanks for everybody for being so patient with whether there was sound or not sound. I think we did really darn well. I want to give a shout out real quick to Anna Janesi, who is my tech sister, sitting right over here telling me what to do, and Angel Cardenas, who was our videographer, who was down with Mindy and Mindy's husband, Robert, making sure that our live virtual tours were great. So that whole bunch of good people working together to make this all happen. And I do want to say, whether you're in a classroom or you're an extension person or an after-school coordinator, whatever role you have where you're helping to educate kids, please make sure you take a look at our resources and you take advantage of what we have to offer. We really do feel that including agriculture and informing students about the importance of ag to our society, to our economy, to our health, all of those reasons make it really important that we continue keeping the conversation going about where our food comes from. Remember that next year, oh no, that's not yet. We have our slides in the right order. I'm kind of jumping the gun. But we want to make sure that you know that we're here all year long. So make sure you reach out to us. And then we do want to just put a little plug in here for our exhibitors. You'll see them up on the screen. All of these organizations have great information. They're all happy to partner with you and support your activities. So I really encourage you to reach out to them. And I also thank them for having their websites available to all of you. And next, we definitely want to say a big thank you to our sponsors. We couldn't do a conference like this, which is totally different than what we traditionally do, without the support of all of these great folks who have financially and in kind with donations supported the conference. So hooray for all of them. Thank you so much. We are going, whoa, what is that? This is the venue for next year. Take a look at this. We're excited to be hosting our conference next year at this lovely Ventura Marriott Hotel. Take a look at that. Don't you want to go there? It will be September 23rd. I wasn't sure what that food looks good too, though. Oh, and that looks good too, though. September 23rd to 25th. Being in person is really a great opportunity, because you do have people who have been doing, including agriculture in the classroom, for years and years, and you have brand new people like some of you are this year, and the connection that's made and the synergy and the networking is just really amazing. And I do feel like we connected with you this year. When I was teasing about being in the room by myself, it really does feel like through the chat box, we've all become friends. So we look forward to seeing you all in Ventura next year. To all of you, thanks for being here, and stay in touch. See you later. Bye.